Silhouettes of you are like a taunt. Never really know just what you want.
Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. I am super excited for today's video because I'm going to be talking about my Camp Nano July project. Obviously, I have a guest here.
Hello.
This is Andrew, my life partner, and now my writing partner. I'm kind of nervous.
Yeah.
Not really, I'm excited.
Yeah, I'm nervous.
Okay, we're on the same page. Let's see, should you tell us a little bit about yourself because they have no idea who you are? Let's start with, what is your favorite color?
My favorite color is yellow.
What about your favorite Disney character? I actually don't know if I know the answer to this.
Disney character.
Yeah.
Oh, that's wow. Disney character.
Yeah, I'm definitely putting you on the spot.
Well, I like Pocahontas.
Oh yeah, you do,
So
yeah.
I would probably go with Pocahontas.
I think
Yeah.
I would have picked, like, the little chameleon.
Oh, yeah. He's just not a main character.
I guess that's true.
So, yeah. But yeah,
The chameleon from Tangled.
Yeah, he's.
I forget his
He
name.
would be. I don't remember, but he's cool.
I guess if you don't remember
Yeah.
his name, he's definitely not your favorite character.
No. I'll go with
Okay,
Pocahontas.
let's see. MBTI.
ENFJ.
Yeah.
ENFJ.
And one more. What is your Hogwarts house? That will tell
Hufflepuff.
you so much.
Hufflepuff. I am Hufflepuff.
He is a Hufflepuff. Okay, so what are my plans for Camp Nano? We are going to be working on a middle grade project together. For the first time, we've never actually written together. We both have like MFA schooling for screenwriting, and somehow, even through like however long we've been married forever, we've never written anything together. So the project we're working on is actually Andrew's like baby.
Well, the world is.
The world is definitely
That's
his
all I
baby.
had is the world.
Yes,
So-
so we're partnering together. The goal for this month is to write the whole thing. And the plan is I'm going to be taking one of the main character's point of views and he's going to be taking the other. So I'm going to be writing like the dark princess who doesn't want to be a princess. And you're going to be writing...
The main character.
They're both the main character. Excuse you.
No, I'm be writing this introverted, kind of a starry kid.
Starry-eyed.
Starry-eyed, yeah. Starry-eyed
Yeah.
kid who's, doesn't know he's got his magical powers.
Yeah.
And he's going to
And
discover,
boom.
yeah, that he does.
He figures out he has them.
So,
And then obviously they meet in like this military type training, magical training, like
Battle Mage School, yeah.
battle mage school.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's gonna be fun. It's definitely going to be fantastical. And because we're splitting up the point of views, Andrew's actually not going to be in the vlogs that much, but he is writing half the book. So I figured, I'd show him off a little bit. So we are actually on our way to Panera right now. I've been on this huge Panera kick because of their corn chowder. So good. And also, like, their coffee is good. Like, I don't know. I like their
Get the
caramel.
cup. I like that you get a cup.
Yeah, you can get a mug.
You get a
Yeah.
mug.
So yeah, we are on our way there. So far, we have plotted out like a vague outline of the 5-book series. And last time we did the Blake Snyder outline. So we have like a decent grasp of what is going on. He has invited me into this world he's been creating for years, and I've pretty much mucked it up already.
I wouldn't say that. It's getting done.
Yeah, so,
Finally.
yeah, it is good. Because we're pairing together, he's actually going to write this book. He's been like wanting to write it for years and he never actually sits down and does it. And that's like what I do. So we are going to hop into Panera and start the chapter outline. That's what we're doing right now. And then we'll get started from there. took me forever to do this, but I finally added our project on to Camp Nano, so yay! I guess that means it's finally official. So it is Monday, July 10th, which means it is the second week of Camp Nano. We completed the first week, so I just wanted to give everyone a quick little update on how it's going and maybe talk a little bit about the process, because it is a tiny bit different working with a writing partner. I have written things with a writing partner before, but never like a whole book, never this substantial. So I think we did some things that have really helped us out, and I think were wise choices, so I kind of wanted to talk about them a little bit. But just as like a quick update, we are on, let's see, I got through halfway through chapter 6 yesterday, and we're like a little bit behind. Ideally, if we're going to get through the first draft of this book this month, then we needed to be at chapter 8. So it's like not horrible, but a little behind. Actually, I am kind of surprised that we did as well as we did, because let's be honest, there was a very real chance that this was just going to crash and burn before it even began in the first place. So, you know, we're doing all right. But to back it up a little bit, I think we thought we were going to be starting with a chapter outline, which is kind of hilarious because I don't ever start any book with a chapter outline in the first place. I wanted to make sure that just because he was bringing me on as a writing partner, that I didn't completely just like really mess everything up. And I wanted to make sure I kind of understood all of these things he already had cooked up in his mind. Now, it did become apparent very quickly that what he had was more so a world and kind of key plot points figured out in his mind that would span like a series of books. And he didn't really have like a honed in actual book plot for a first book. So it was actually really cool to just be able to hear about the world and step into the world and then create a story out of it. Obviously, he had like one of the main characters fleshed out and the main plot line for the series figured out. So pretty much we decided to start with a basic 3-sentence like beginning, middle, end of the series. So we figured out how many books the story in his mind would fill, pretty much just through chatting it out and through doing the sentence outlines. Literally what I mean by that is we put book 1, beginning, gave it a sentence, middle, gave it a sentence, end, gave it a sentence, and then we ended up doing that 5 times. So essentially we came up with a brief plot structure that we knew would span the course of 5 books. And through doing that, I kind of got introduced to everything and all the ideas that were going on in his mind. And we also pinpointed some contradictions and smoothed things out and just kind of came up with a very, very broad idea of what these books could be. Then we decided to zoom in a little more and do the Blake Snyder beat sheet. Now, this is super helpful for kind of making sure that you have a character arc and have identified an antagonist and a theme. It's kind of just like a great skeleton for your book. So we moved on to the beats, beat it all out, and that kind of really helped me see what I could bring to the table. We ended up deciding to split it into 2 point of views, which was actually in hindsight like a pro for us, because when you're writing you want everything to flow seamlessly, but if you have multiple point of views, that point of view needs to read a little different because it is a different character. And because we'd never written together, I think that's kind of helping us out. Obviously, we're going to have to go through and make sure that it does flow, but it's okay that it's a little different because they're different characters. That's a different point of view. You actually want that in having multiple point of views. So I think that's something that's kind of helping us out. Once that was done, we eventually moved into the chapter outline, decided how many chapters each book would be, and I kind of already, like, I have like a set way that I do this when I'm plotting any kind of book that made it very easy for us to just plug the story into the structure that I already use. So we did that, and we came up with 1 to 3 scenes that we thought would fill each chapter, and we're doing all of this in Google Docs so that if a change happens while I'm writing, I can change it in the chapter outline and he can see it, and vice versa. And so that has been really helpful, that anything we write is shared, and all of the references that we created for ourselves ahead of time before we actually jumped into writing the words are shared, and everything is just right there at each of our fingertips and is open to being changed at any moment. So that's been really helpful, because if I forget to tell him I made a change, then it's not going to be detrimental, because inevitably he will be referring back to our references that I do change. And speaking of references, this is actually a huge thing that we have done that has been a big help for me, especially since he has the original world building in his mind and I don't, is that we created a character reference and like species reference. It also kind of contains different magical rules and species all just put into one to where I can look anything up. And also, because my character does experience some things before the other character, I'm also responsible for creating those keys for him, because it does kind of change some things. For example, there is a very key species in the book that my character deals with that his character isn't going to really know about until later, and I actually had to describe it, and so naturally I veered a little away from what he had described, because I had to go with what was natural in the moment and what fit the world building that I was already kind of creating. And so I just changed that on the reference, and he'll be able to reference that later. And obviously we still talk back and forth and clear things up with each other, but really just having everything written down in a document that we can both look at and both change and see changes that are being made in real time has been extremely helpful. And I 100% believe that it's going to help with the continuity when we move into developmental edits, because it's not me just making something up and him making something up in the moment just to get the words out. We actually have to reference something, so everything is cohesive. But it also allows for that creativity to happen, to where if I know that I'm hitting that thing first, I have the go ahead and leeway to kind of establish it and make sure that we change it in the document. And so once it's in the document and established in the story, that's kind of what we're sticking with until the first draft is over, and then developmental edits can happen. And if I'm not happy with something, we can change it, and if he's not happy with something, we can change it, and kind of just really work with that back and forth, but not hinder the writing in the moment. So that has been what I think is the most key thing that we have done so far. And lastly, what we have done is, because we did fall behind this week, we are implementing a writing schedule where each night before bed we write for an hour and a half to 2 hours before we cut it off at 10. So we're going to be doing that every night, no cheat nights, until the work is done. And then once the work is done, then we can have like free time and cheat days and all of that, where we're not necessarily writing every day. So that is our current plan. That is the current writing schedule and what we have done. It's going like so smoothly. I definitely didn't know if I was going to be able to hop into somebody else's world and just bring it to life in a way that felt genuine to me even, and good for them too. But it's been great. I'm having a lot of fun with my character. Obviously, I did have a lot of input when it came to her. She did not exist in his original plans, and so his flexibility has allowed me to bring something unique to the table. And so we're just pretty much really enjoying our writing nights together, and it's just been a blast. It's been a surprising blast because, yeah, I was definitely scared. I feel like it's kind of akin to when you hire a writer to work on your IP within like a world that's already set. I think those are the right abbreviations. Now I'm like doubting myself. I think it's IP though, where you just hire an author to come write within a world that already exists. And so that is something that I've always been intrigued with, and now I feel like I'm kind of dabbling in it to like an amateur degree. But yeah, it's been a lot of fun, and so like if I ever do get the chance to do this on a professional level, I would totally be game for it. But that's kind of way off track, and I do want to get some words in today, so that is what I'm going to do now. So it has been some time, probably like 2 weeks maybe, but a lot of things were happening, which shifted my focus a little bit. So I don't even know when I updated you last, but I'm gonna hop onto my laptop and pull up my NaNoWriMo so we can figure that out together. I want to say it is the 28th, it is Friday, and the last day of July is Monday. So we're in that like countdown era, but the last 2 weeks have been amazing. We had a week of like some ups and downs of figuring out and going through the interview process for Andrew to switch jobs, which is something we have been needing to happen for quite some time now, because the current job not the current job, because the job he was in just really was not great for his Crohn's, and it was just really putting a lot more stress on him and our family than it needed to. So he got a new job, so excited for that. And then we took an impromptu visit to the beach because we had that weird week between him ending his job and starting a new one, and we were like, well dang, we should go on a vacation. So we basically made like reservations the day before, threw everything into our car and went for it, and it was so much fun. Of course, we visited the aquarium. I got a lot of reading done, so my reading goal is like on point right now. But my writing goal is not. So what we have here is like a tight deadline, and we're going to need to get a decent amount of work done within a short amount of time. We have 4 full days to get to our goal. And oddly enough, I feel as if it's gonna happen. So today and tomorrow are busy, Sunday and Monday are not. So we're just going to get what we can done the next 2 days. And Sunday and Monday are gonna be those crunch days. Just have that added little bit of tension. We're coming up on the deadline. It's kind of a lot to get done, but it feels doable. And I'm just like ready for the challenge. I'm up for the challenge. Also, because this vlog centers around writing with a writing partner, something kind of funny that happened in our writing that we discovered was, even though we did an outline, we didn't, for whatever reason, I don't know why we forgot about this, but we didn't put into the outline when, like, a time of day for the scenes that were happening. And so hit the timeline in my partner's mind and the timeline that was happening in my mind were completely different. So thankfully we only messed up a little bit, a couple of the scenes, and it's going to be an easy fix in the developmental stage of edits. But that's like a tip that I don't know how I missed that completely, because I outline all the time. I guess it's because when I'm outlining by myself, I know what time of day it is. So like if I don't put it on the cards or I don't establish it in the outline, I know what's going on. But when you're writing with a partner, they think they know what's going on and you think you know what's going on. And really it's something that you need to talk out together. So, hot, obvious tip. Don't forget to write the time of day or night or whatever on your outline scene cards, because yeah, we definitely are going to have to fix some continuity issues. But again, they're not that big of a deal. And it's just, I don't know why I didn't think about it, but it happened. So maybe if you're watching this, it will help you to remember to do that first. Luckily, we only outlined the first half of the book before we realized this was going to cause an issue. So the outlining for the second half of the book is going to be fine. It's going to go smoothly. I just thought it was kind of funny when it happened, because I was like, why did I not do that? Why did I not think to do that? So yeah, caused a little bit of issues for us later on, but that is a problem for future us, and we will deal with it then. But for now, I'm going to check in with my NaNoWriMo and see how many words I have left to write in 4 days. So we have written 8,741 words, over halfway. So, you know, we can do it. Let me do the math real quick on how many words that is. 7,259 words to write in 4 days. So I'm going to start writing. Wish me luck. I'm not going to lie, this laptop is seriously testing the person that I want to be. So I grossly miscalculated the amount of time that I would have to work on my project this weekend. I definitely thought I was going to be able to make it a priority, and that just didn't happen. So I think I got maybe 300 words left, and it is Monday and it is the last day of July. So we have like whatever that big word count was. Pretty much that's the amount of words that we have to get done today. The plan is to see what I can get done during nap time. And then when Andrew gets home, I'm going to go downstairs into my office and work until I get tired and just call it a day, see where we're at. I have written that many words in a day before, but I just don't know if it's actually possible, since it's not like me waking up in the morning and just starting and just having all day to do it. That is the plan. And if I get it after midnight, I'm still going to count it as a win in my book. I don't know. I don't think the website will count it as a win, but I don't really care about the technicality. Also, the fact that I'm talking like I might actually win this today is so optimistic. The reality is I might have failed at Camp Nano, so we shall see. But we plotted out the rest of the book, and I only have 6 chapters that I need to write. So there is a chance that I'll only need to write around 6,000. So the word count is going to be really close. But like, wouldn't it be amazing if I just wrote those 6 chapters? Really, if I don't hit my word count, but hit the chapters, I would have written a whole book in a month again. Well, half a book because I'm writing it with a partner, right? But that would just be amazing. And I'm rambling. So my laptop it keeps cutting off and then taking like 30 minutes to turn back on. It is costing me way too much time, especially because I have so many words to write tonight. So I've been writing throughout the day. So I'm going to pull up NaNoWriMo and add in the last session that I did, and we'll see where we're at so far. But I am 1 chapter away from being done with Act 2B, and then we just have Act 3 left, and it's like 7:10 or something like that. So we have a little bit of time before I just completely lose it. So I'm going to keep going, keep trucking along, and I'll show you the stats when I get upstairs, and then hopefully I can finish out the night on the laptop. I really don't want to have to sit at that desk up there for any longer than I have to. I don't know. This laptop situation is just... It is the bane of my life right now, but it is fine. So we're like halfway there. My toddler did this and I haven't gotten it off yet, but I just wasted like a whole hour trying to get my laptop to work. So I don't know how I'm doing really. We are 73% there. So I'm gonna keep working, but I feel as if we're not gonna make it tonight, but we'll see. Okay, so that little clip of my last stats actually ended up being my final results of Camp Nano, so I technically did not win. After I showered, I kind of lost the will to continue. Also because I was at like a really good stopping place for the night because I finished up all of my chapters in the last half of Act 2. So just to wrap this vlog up, I was 100 words shy of just needing 3,000 words. So I needed 3,100 words to win Nano, and I kind of just stopped. Even though I technically lost Nano, I still feel really good about it. I wrote 3/4 of a book. Andrew is over halfway done with his chapters. So we're going to be wrapping up this book pretty quickly, and we have had a lot of fun with it. So I hope you enjoyed this vlog. It was definitely a lot of learning curves, having never written with someone to this extent. And you know, we learned a lot about each other's styles and really just the full-on need to have an outline between each other. So if you have any other tips and tricks of what works really well for you and your writing partner, if you've written it with a writing partner, go ahead and leave them in the comments. If you participated in NaNoWriMo, I hope you had an awesome time. I hope you hit your goal, but if you didn't, I still hope that you had fun with it, and I can't wait to see you in the next one. Thanks for sticking around. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Bye!